All right. Joining us now, we are blessed to have Florida Senator Rick Scott, National Republican Senatorial Committee Chairman. Senator Scott, welcome back, sir. Happy holidays. You may have heard part of that riff, but I just think it's amazing. Just in the past week or so, his main policy item has gone down the drain. So have other items kind of surrounding it, like the filibuster and the amnesty and so forth and so on. They wouldn't listen to Joe Manchin, who's done the Lord's work. I think you would agree. His administration and presidency, Senator Scott, seem to be falling apart. What you think?
You know what surprised me all year is his agenda has been unpopular all year. You know, at the website nrsc.org, we put up all of our polls. The Democrats must have had a pollster that told them an open border was a good idea, shutting down pipelines was a good idea, leaving Afghanistan and leaving Americans behind was a good idea, passing bills that cause ridiculous inflation was a good idea, because they kept going down this path until all of a sudden, thank goodness for Joe Manchin, and there's probably others in the Democrat side of the Senate that have said, look, we're not going to get reelected. It's not bad. It's not great for our citizens. In my state, I got people that their inflation is just hurting these families. They say, I don't have enough money for gas and feeding my kids. And by the way, this rent is going up so fast. I can't survive this. You guys have got to do something about it. And what does the Biden administration do? Nothing. They won't do anything to try to solve any of these problems.
I'm just interested and surprised. Okay, you and I have both been in politics for quite some time, that the whole thing collapsed, Senator Scott. Really, the ultimate collapse was the so-called Build Back Better bill, big government socialist bill. That's gone. Now, they're going to put it off and make another run at it next year. It's going to be even harder next year. The longer it waits, I think you would agree, the harder it's going to get as we get close to the election, because it's so darn unpopular. But here's the thing, Senator. He's in denial. It's like his press secretary says, no, the CBO price out is fake news. His economics people say, no, our bill is going to cut inflation rather than increase it. They're the only people on the planet who agree with that. They're in complete denial about this. And it seems like with a political tin ear that we've seldom seen anything like this, they're not going to make any changes. That's what interests me. Yeah. They're getting killed, and they're not going to make any changes.
It's like the emperor has no clothes. They don't get that the public is fed up with this stuff. They don't want to be told to wear masks. They don't want to be told to get a vaccine. They want, just give them good information. They don't want more regulations. They don't want a harder permitting time. They don't want fewer jobs. They don't want higher inflation. They don't want this stuff. But Schumer and Biden just keep going down this path. So my theory, they have a horrible pollster that's telling them that this must be really good, and we just don't understand it.
Senator Scott, one quick point that's an important one, though. The attempts to change the filibuster appear to be dead. The issue here was election reform and nationalizing an election. Is that the case, though? Are the attempts to change the filibuster, in fact, dead?
Right now they are, but they keep trying. Think about it. These same Democrats that wanted to make sure we kept the filibuster when Donald Trump got elected are the same Democrats that say we've got to get rid of the filibuster now, because all they care about is power. They don't care about you as a person. They want to have government, them in control, and tell you exactly how to lead your life. And that's exactly what they want to do. So Schumer's all in to get rid of the filibuster now. But, boy, he wanted to keep it when Donald Trump was president.
Yeah, and let's go forward. All right, so the bill is dead for now. We're going to come back in January. I don't know precisely what the legislative calendar looks like. But let's say sometime, I don't know, early February, you've got budgets, you've got the State of the Union, blah. Let's say in February. You think, Senator Scott, that the Biden group will actually go again using the same discredited and defeated bill? You think they're actually going to try this again and let the left-wing progressives run the show again?
I don't see them letting up at all. I mean, think about it. In this bill, they give tax breaks to the rich in New York and California and New Jersey, and they cut care for the poor, health care for the poor in Texas and Florida. So, what are they thinking? And they're going to cause child care costs to double. I mean, it's like, Do you not understand the ramifications of what you're doing? And how could that help the poorest families in our country who are getting hurt the most?
You know, I'm going to raise this later with our political panel, but you're a pretty shrewd political guy. Here's what this tin ear thing, I just don't get it. If you go back, Senator Scott, 25 years ago, so Bill Clinton, who was a moderate Southern Democrat, comes into office and tries to nationalize health care, and he jacks up income taxes, and it's very unpopular, and he gets blown out of the midterms, okay? Republican sweep in the 1994 midterms. So Clinton changes. Remember, he said the era of big government is over. He changed. And then he went into welfare reform, and he had a capital gains tax cut. I mean, I don't want to lionize Mr. Clinton, but I'm just saying he was a pretty good politician. The thing that amazes me, Senator Scott, I don't see anything like that coming out of Biden or his camp. They're like, oh, this is fake, and that's fake, and you're lying, and only we have the truth, and they're going to stay with it, which I guess is fine for all the re-elections. They're going to go GOP. But aren't you shocked at how stupid they are politically?
Absolutely. And look at their nominees. I mean, they want to get rid of the banks. They won't say they're a capitalist. I mean, some of these things, you look at who they're picking, and it's just far, far left people, and they have a belief that they've got the right idea to tell you how to exactly lead your life, because that's what they want to do. I don't see how he's going to change. He's surrounded himself with far left people. And Schumer's doing this, too. It just doesn't make any sense. It's bad for families. And it's actually good for Republicans next year. I'm running the Senate committee. It's good for us, but it's horrible for the country.
Speaking of the Senate campaign committee, I don't know whether you've looked at the Connecticut race, okay? But in recent days, we have learned that longtime incumbent Richard Blumenthal just appeared and gave a speech celebrating the 102nd anniversary of the Connecticut Communist Party, which he knew all about. He helped them to recruit. He lauded them for their efforts, the Communist Party of Connecticut. And then today, apparently issues a statement saying, oh, gee whiz, I didn't know. Yeah, right. I didn't know it was a Communist Party, which is...
Yeah, the banner behind me doesn't, I just didn't even read that banner.
I mean, now he's had trouble with this down through the years with Vietnam service that he didn't complete, and he was a swimming champ or some darn thing, I don't know. But I'm just saying, Omarova from Moscow State University, she was a communist. She could have become a refusenik or something, but she didn't. She defended the USSR. Now we got Blumenthal defending the Communist Party in Connecticut. What is up with the Democratic Party? And even in the deep blue state of Connecticut, there might be a revolt. And by the way, I'm recusing myself. I have nothing to, I'm here. I'm blessed to have this position as a host on Fox. I know I looked at the race about 5 years ago. But I'm just saying, looking at this, how can a guy with all his degrees and all his experience come out and back the Connecticut Communist Party and then a day or two later deny that he knew about it? Really?
Yeah, I mean, first off, you can show you how far the Democrats have gone to the left. I mean, they are so far to the left. This is why we're going to have a great 22. I mean, this next year is going to be tough on the country. They're going to really hurt poor families and people on fixed income in this country. But in November 22, we're going to take back the House. We're going to take back the Senate. Every state that Joe Biden won by less than 10 points, we have a chance of winning. So I believe we have a chance of winning Connecticut. As long as we have a good candidate, we raise our money, which we're doing, we're going to do really well.
Now that Blumenthal has denied the Communist Party, do you think the Communist Party of Connecticut will run against him in a primary? That was a joke.
That would be
That
fun.
was a joke. I'm sorry. It's Friday. That was a joke. Senator Rick Scott, the best of the best. If I don't see you, sir, thanks for everything, helping our show, and the best happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye, Larry.